Hey guys, say we're at DeBary Hall in DeBary, Florida. This is the Welcome Center. We're going to take a tour of the house here. They got a movie and the grounds around here, so follow along. I hope you enjoy the DeBary house, DeBary, Florida. Alright, this is DeBary Hall. What a beautiful, I have to call it a mansion. So we're visiting today. This is DeBary Hall, built in 1871 by Baron Frederick DeBary, born in 1815 in Germany. You can pause, read the sign here if you like. He had several steamboats. So we're going to take a tour around DeBary Hall today. I hope you enjoy.
Are open.
I wonder if it's an old engine, a single-lunged engine.
So straight ahead is going to be the ice house. That's actually lined with straw, cork, and sawdust to keep it well insulated for the time that they were here. The DeBarys, they were only here for about 6 weeks on average. Sometimes they would stay a little longer, about 3 months. But like I said, they would ship the ice down whenever they needed ice down the St. Johns River. And then the one to the right here is actually the wash house. It's 2 stories because the ladies that were the servants here, they would stay on the top. That would be their living portion. And then the bottom part would be where they would do. And that's actually now our caretaker's residence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that when we're upstairs.
Okay. Oh, beautiful floors. Yeah, they had some information on the wall with the show the alligator these guys had caught while they were out hunting. They have a I call it a trophy showcase where they've got quails and stuff that they have shot. They were big avid hunters. They call this a hunting house. This is the living room. Nice big fireplace. The ceilings were very tall. I believe they were about 12 feet tall. They were a big ceiling. They had ceiling fans up there. We had a nice guide. She was very helpful there. She showed us a lot of info. There was a early picture of what the dining room looked like in the house some years back. Victorian furniture. She pointed out their trophy case. Quails. This is some area where they're out hunting. There's a lot of hunting in this area, especially back then. It was not as populated as it is now. We wanted to look at these windows here. Back then, they charged you the tax for each door. So they would make the windows ceiling to floor, and so you could open the window and walk right out and use it as a door, and then you wouldn't have the tax to pay. That was pretty unique. Surprised how black that fireplace is at the I'm not sure what they used to build it with. They talk about a springs where they could go bathe in that. Water just stays 72 degrees year round. So. Now we headed on into the music room. Yeah, a picture. This is what the house looked like originally. They added on to each end of the house, and so they did a good job. You can tell where it's at, but they did a really good job of adding on. Nice little code to set, read, have coffee. These floors are really beautiful in this whole house. Here's a picture of DeBary himself. I think he had 2 children. Been doing some work in the house. One of the workers was strolling by. Yeah, Frederick DeBary, born in 1815 to 1889. The guy was pointing out the family. This was the granddaughter who stayed in this house. We'll be looking at her bedroom later on here. The music room, look at this old photograph. They had round records, look like a can, and that's what they played their records from. Nice big fireplace. Every room had a fireplace, all but one. One bedroom was a child's bedroom, did not have a fireplace. Phonograph. Nice big windows, you can see throughout to Lake Monroe. In the old days, it's kind of grown up now. Look at the design in this floor. It took a little time to lay that down and make such a beautiful floor. A lot of natural light comes in these big windows. The glass in the windows were the old wavy glass back in the old days. The glass are pure now. You can see way out through there, but I wanted to point out, look at the bubble in the glass. A lot of old-time glass was that way, where you would see a bubble in the glass. This was a picture of an orange groves that used to set out here. They're kind of froze out back in the 80s. This is the front door. It had a really cool doorbell. It was loud. And look at this transit and the stained glass of it. Wasn't that beautiful? We're gonna ring the bell. These porches were just absolutely gorgeous. They wrapped all around. Great place to sit outside and enjoy the summer day. Or winter day. This is Florida. Porch pretty much went around the whole house. See, and we had a nice little tour. There was only the 3 of us. You see the windows go all the way down to the floor, which they could use for a door. Saved in their taxes. You see the porch just keeps winding around. These are hurricane shutters. I'm sure they've been used many times throughout the years. This was a sitting room with a piano. This was a portrait of the granddaughter. Some beautiful Victorian furniture. See See that little thing, the dark thing on the fireplace? That was the place where they put matches and you could light your fire. A hand-tufted settee. She's showing us the matchbox here. Had a place you could strike them underneath. I used to do a lot of furniture upholstery. That's what I did for a living, and those tufted settees were very, very difficult and time-consuming. Some more pictures of the inside of the house from years back. Windows everywhere. You can have a beautiful view from about every room. Another little picture of the granddaughter. We're trying to discern if this was a piano or a harpsichord. What's the difference? Do you guys know? If you do, leave a comment. This is what bell would ring the butler. If you wanted his service, it would ring back into the kitchen. This was the dining room. You go with the fireplace. This was a friend of the family. They were into aviation, and she actually died at the age of 33 in a small plane crash. All kinds of beautiful china. I actually have some china really similar to that my great-grandmother owned. This was Mum's champagne. This is what they gained their fortune by, from the Mum's champagne. There's that dinnerware. A lot of dishes on one table. You suppose you use them all? I guess they do. Start from the left, I always heard. This is a little pantry there, and look at all these teacups. She was showing us the window to the old part. They have all these teacups. A lot of these were donated. They have a tea every so often here that you can get into the tea there, and so they do use a lot of cups for the teas. Kind of like the way they left the cupboards there, kind of rusty, paint chipping off. Again, a bottle of Mum's champagne sitting there. And this is the kitchen. Look at this big old cook stove. We had a cook stove when I was a kid. We used it to heat with and cook with also. I think the refrigerator looks kind of modern there to the left. Got the iron. Heat your iron up. A little to make toast there. And this was the sink. The countertop's not original. That's a new countertop on it. An old country kitchen. Not really that big of a kitchen. And you can see where the porches come around. Another window all the way to the floor. This is where they kept the ice. They brought the ice in from steamship and they would store it in there. I'm not sure how long it would last, but that's how they would store their ice. An old sewing machine. Old cooking, apple peelers, hand grinders. This is an indoor outhouse. You see the little container, that's an ashtray on the side, but actually had an indoor outhouse. I hope it didn't smell. Goes down to the basement. We weren't allowed to go down, but I was able to put the camera down and get just a little view, but I was surprised it was dry. Not many homes in Florida have basements. The water level's so tall, usually they would have a wet basement. This sets her up on top of a hill, so this is actually the modern office that they have now, which used to be the mudroom. This is the underneath the steps. Every place that under the steps has a nice little cubby hole. That's where the kids would go hide when they were in trouble. And a beautiful staircase. This looks out the front door again with those stained glass windows. Look at this gorgeous staircase all the way up through. I probably rode down that if I was a kid. I was a kid. Hard to believe. This was made out of mahogany, the staircase. I think she said it was Australian mahogany. Nice carpet runner up the steps. The ceilings down below were 12 foot. They were 10 foot upstairs. Those are still tall ceilings. Look at these faucets coming out of the wall. 2 of them. I'll tell you a little bit more about them there a little bit later. This was Mr. DeBary's bedroom right here. They said that the headboard wasn't original. The original had their family emblem and said DeBary on it, so they don't believe this was the original bed. Mr. DeBary was afraid of fire. I guess he was involved in a fire sometime, so he wouldn't allow the gas in his room. Nice closet, big tall windows. You can see they had a deck, the porch wrapped around the upstairs as well as the downstairs. Porcelain top on the wardrobe here. All the walls were painted the same throughout the whole house. Kind of an eggshell. And the whole house had hardwood floors. Had ceiling fans back then. As you know, in Florida, you need a ceiling fan. It gets mighty warm. Hey, is that a popcorn cooker or a bed washer? Bed warmer. I said you could actually make popcorn in bed and have a snack when you use that. So the fireplaces have been well used. Honey Dawg. Porcelain lamps. Wallpaper starting to come off. This was a fainting sofa. I used to upholster a few of those. We always wondered why did they call them a fainting sofa? Did the women get the vapors and faint? Some of the old clothes. Clothes look a little different back then. Whole dress on a bustle there. I guess they added on this part. You can see where the walls had changed. This was part of the addition. This is the closet with all her goodies. Got her bloomers there. All her jewelry. Really nice and neatly, but boy, the clothes sure do look different then than they do now. A parasol. is where their friends lay. It escapes me her name. She was in the picture in the dining room downstairs. Had a nice full bath. Also had a bathtub and also a shower here too. The transits allows ventilation in the room. Here we were talking about the plane crash. She was avid in aviation. That was up in New York. I guess they hit a mountainside and then unfortunately died. Age 33, was pretty young. Another look out on the porch. You could actually see Lake Monroe here at one point, but the trees have grown up so much it's kind of hard to see it now. This is the little girl's room. This is the only room that did not have a fireplace because being a child, little teddy bears. Actually one of her dresses here that they had. She had a lot of doll babies. Another one of her dresses. We were talking about doll babies. Sometimes doll babies look kind of creepy. If I was a little girl, I don't know if I would have liked a doll baby or not. A little close up of one. She had about 80 of them. Actually, here's a picture of all her doll babies. They said they counted about 80 doll babies that she had. Another one of the guest bedrooms. Had a chamber pot there. You need to go in the middle of the night. That's what you used. This house was built in 1871. It's one of the oldest buildings in Volusia County. Here showing where the gas was piped in, where they could put lights up. So there was actually gas here in the house. They said they found this cow or a bull, and so they just called it the bull. They found it on the property. This house here was used for all the dignitaries. Presidents Ulysses S. Grant, Grover Cleveland, Prince of Wales, who became King Edward VII, was there. Also the Astors and the Vanderbilts stayed in this room. This little picture frame here shows where the walls look like. And you can see the porch right outside. Well, this was the actual outside when they added on.
Right. So this used to be the porch. Then the family enclosed this area, added 2 guest bathrooms here.
They did that, so they were like downstairs.
No, they added these.
Oh, right here.
Back in the 20s and 30s.
He did that stuff.
Yeah, he was one of the first owners.
It's a nice view out around the ice house and the servants' quarters out there for the groundskeepers. You can tell that was part of the new part here. You can see the siding on the wall. They used to put their coats there on the hooks. The old clawfoot tub. Those were great taking baths in, nice and deep. They also had a shower on them too. This was actually an elevator. They had an elevator in the house here. It was rope pulled. You pulled it up and down by hand. You see it goes all the way down to the bottom. This area over here was the servants' quarters. They showed you a little bit of the lath plaster. They left it open so you can see how it was constructed. Same with the ceiling. You can see how the plaster was constructed over top of lath. They used to call it horsehair plaster. They would mix it all up with horsehair in it and plaster the walls. This here was a bedroom that belonged to the servants. You can see how much smaller it is than the big bedrooms for the other people. Picture of Abraham Lincoln. Had a fireplace, had everything you need, but wasn't very big. I think this was the master servant here. Had its own bathtub, closet, old wooden blinds. Again, a clawfoot tub. Good soaking tubs. They got paid New York wages, which was $1 per day, which was actually good wages for this area. This was a dorm room for the servants. They use it now to store the Christmas decorations and the Halloween decorations, but this was, they had bunk beds in here. This is where the servants' dorm room was. This was that sink I was telling you about. There's cisterns up on the roof, and each of those are for a different cistern. They're not hot and cold water, and they pull that and use that water off the roof. In the summertime, we get quite a bit of rain, so they would fill up, and this is how they get a lot of their water to do cleaning and flushing of the toilets and that. So some artifacts that they have found. They had a lightning protection system here, which, you know, summertime Florida, we get some really nasty lightning storms. Picture the music room in the front. This is the outside of the DeBary Hall. Have fun on it. This is the livery stable.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll take a little walk down here to the stables. We're at DeBary Hall. Beautiful area out here. There's a lot to see out here. This is quite a tour. Admission fee was $5, and for seniors it was $4. Save $1. This is the stable here. table dates from the earliest years of the DeBary's winter place, so appears to be in 1882. So this is the actual picture of the original. Let's take a walk up around here. You can see like the, here you go up to like the, what you call the barnyard or the barn bank. You can bring the horses in. Got rain barrels collecting rainwater off the roof. Very cool stables. They have it handicapped accessible. Very neat. Let's see if you can go in. I'm not sure. Oh, it's locked. Let's just take a walk on around. They have a picnic area over here. You should be able to stay inside the stables. Orange City fruit packers. Little wagon here. Talk about hunting. This was a special hunting wagon that carried the DeBary family members and guests to shoot quails in the local lands. And then this is what they used to travel with, these buggies here. This is how they got around. That's what the DeBarys used. So very peaceful, beautiful spot here. It's a smoke-free environment. That's nice for everybody. Nice little picnic pavilion. Public restrooms. Very peaceful out here, very quiet. DeBary Hall, historic site. You can trek along spring to spring, travels from Volusia County. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed our tour of DeBary Hall today. What a beautiful spot, beautiful old home. Frederick DeBary, founder of the city of DeBary. This is just a gorgeous place. He had this for his winter home. Actually, some royalty had slept here. Several presidents have slept here. But I hope you enjoyed our little tour around DeBary Hall today. It was just a great spot to stop in. So, hey, if you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, leave it in the comment section below. And if you're not a subscriber, I invite you to hit the subscribe button. If you want to be notified of new videos, just hit the little bell. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys the next time. Hey guys, if you want to order some merchandise, we have stickers available. We have coffee chat mugs, and we have t-shirts. Just click the area where the description below, and you can order it. The stickers are $5 each, and you can put your address there, and so we know where to mail them to. So if you want any merchandise, you can click the description area.